Genius. Ukrainians make the most fatal trap war in Ukraine explained. Unleashing unforeseen brilliance. Ukrainians craft the ultimate lethal snare. On June 30, 2023, marking the 492nd day of the Russia-Ukraine war, the Kherson region witnessed its most intense clashes yet. Following the ill-fated Russian ground operation, which resulted in friendly fire incidents involving Russian airborne units, the Russian forces resorted to employing remote tactics to eliminate the Ukrainian bridgehead. According to Russian sources, incendiary munitions were deployed to set ablaze the Ukrainian-held houses, followed by the utilization of heavy flamethrower systems, namely TOS-1, to intensify the destruction inflicted. In the morning, a significant revelation unfolded as Russians uncovered the persistent presence of Ukrainians in the region, coupled with a meticulously executed reinforcement plan that showcased their relentless advance. Faced with these compelling developments, Russian forces swiftly orchestrated a formidable ground assault, escalating the situation further. According to Russian sources, their airborne assault units effectively deployed a diverse range of armored vehicles to transport troops to the contact line, intending to diminish the extent of Ukrainian control. Regrettably, the Russians encountered an unforeseen setback, as the Ukrainians employed remote mining techniques, strategically scattering mines along the sole accessible road for the Russian forces. Confirmed through geolocated footage, it is evident that the Russian forces experienced significant losses as they barely crossed the bridge near Olshki. Reports from Russian military sources themselves acknowledge that the units that did manage to reach the zero line faced considerable challenges in executing their plans, primarily due to the relentless barrage of artillery and mortar fire. The steep and elevated terrain on the Ukrainian side of the river provides them with a strategic advantage, enabling effective fire support and successfully repelling Russian offensives. Russian analysts have begun to suspect that the Russian forces unintentionally played into the hands of the Ukrainians, who strategically baited them into launching suicidal assaults along a heavily mined road, ultimately aiming to dislodge the Ukrainians from their defensive positions under the bridge. Russian fighters voiced their dissatisfaction, asserting that the Russian command was squandering manpower on a task that could be accomplished with a missile strike. Intriguingly, it happened that on the same day, the Russian Air Force initiated an Iskander strike on the prominent Ukrainian stronghold. Swiftly, numerous Russian sources relayed the news of destroyed Ukrainian positions, indicating that the Ukrainians had lost control over the most fortified area in the region. To seize the remaining territories and eliminate the remaining Ukrainian soldiers, Russian forces skillfully employed boats to navigate the region and circumvent the perilous scattered mines strewn along the roads. Regrettably, the Russians fell into a carefully laid Ukrainian trap. As soon as the Russian forces reached the shoreline and cut off their engines, Ukrainian drone operators swiftly unleashed their attacks on the Russian boats. Faced with imminent danger, Russian soldiers were compelled to plunge into the water, knowing that starting their engines would cost them precious time, and remaining in the immobilized vessels meant certain death. The relentless drones persistently herded the Russians towards the beach, where they were met by Ukrainian infantry, who effectively neutralized the Russian assault unit. Astonishingly, it was discovered that a massive bunker lay concealed beneath the bridge. Even the Russian drone operator ascertained that the Ukrainians possessed an entrance to the underground facilities adjacent to the bridge, rendering the destruction of the bridge with an Iskander strike futile in altering the circumstances. Soon after, Russian sources reluctantly acknowledged the worsening situation on the ground. Ukrainian forces not only expanded their presence on the bridgehead, but also launched daring attacks using kamikaze boats against the Russian bridge near Olshki. These strategic strikes aimed to sever Russia's last grip on the island and advance towards Olshki. Although the kamikaze boats fell short of achieving their objectives, the Ukrainian determination didn't waver. Reports suggest that the Ukrainian troop count on the islands swelled to approximately 300 soldiers, further complicating the Russian defense. As a result, Russian offensive actions diminished, granting Ukrainians greater freedom to navigate the region. The challenges of assaulting such a formidable force prompted a tactical shift, and the balance of control began to tilt in Ukraine's favor. After an extensive drone reconnaissance mission, Ukrainian forces have taken a bold step forward by exploiting Russian blind spots. Recent reports suggest that Ukrainians have successfully infiltrated the Russian side of the island. Compelling drone footage reveals Ukrainian soldiers transporting cargo towards the foundation of a crucial bridge. Alarmed Russian analysts are sounding the alarm, highlighting the unexpected Ukrainian accomplishment of mining the sole Russian supply route for their positions on the island. What will happen tomorrow? Will Russia regain the lost supply route? No one knows, because during war, you can expect anything from both sides. So, stay with us, as we will bring you the authentic news from the battleground on a regular interval.